guys, welcome back to the review, and thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to talk about Treadstone episode 3 today. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch me, and I'm sorry for the delay for the newer episodes review, but I'm trying to get my ducks in a row and get this on a timely basis, so hope to get that more settled out soon. But anyways, let's talk about Treadstone episode 3. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, stop what you're doing again, wait for it to watch it, and then once you watch it, come back and see this review. But Treadstone is so far has been an amazing show. I really like the pace. Every episode seems to leave you with some type of mystery behind it and gives you a feeling like I can't wait for the next episode, which is typical Bourne type of movies. You can't watch the next episode so you can really understand what's going on. And there's been a lot of crazy things happening in this episode that you definitely want to stay tuned to, and we're going to talk about it. And at the end of the episode for episode 3 just blew my mind. I was like, wow, what the hell is going on here? And I'm so happy this is being included. So let's talk about a little bit first. So I'm going to go in a little bit in little sporadic parts of the episode to try to cut this down a little bit more, but at the same time, these are some big things that have happened within the characters that perhaps maybe on the following episode would be of some significance later on. So anyways, we start with the first person, or the first cicada, in 1973 with John. John is basically trying to infiltrate the facility that he was held captive and find out some more information about this particular group who had him for such a long period of time. He finds out that these people basically left. They dropped everything they had to do and they went bye-bye, and they didn't leave any clues for him to find except for this one watch that he found on the ground that he remembers that Petra had in her wrist, or on her wrist, and probably lost it in the fight that they both had in episode 1. So he holds on to this as a clue to try to figure what's going on. He then tries to use this information to reach out to his friend in the CIA who helped him escape in episode 2 and try to see what they can come up with as to why or who is putting this together. Confronts his friend, asking some information about certain operatives that got killed, and tries to see if he actually did it. John actually killed those people, and he says that he did because his brain was messed up. He was his final trial version to see if he was fully integrated as a cicada, and he admits it. And basically his friend betrays him by going to his boss, who heard everything they were talking about and decides to take action in his own hands, killing his friend and telling John to take on the mission as to find out who this is, so that they could see what material and research they can use to create their own cicadas as the U.S. government. So that's what his mission was. Basically, John's now new purpose is to find out who they are, even though he was trying to do it, but to find out who he do it and clear his name so that he could go back home. So that's pretty much where that left off. Petra, in the next character or next scenes of characters, she goes back home to her Russian home in 1973, finds no one's been there, looks around, finds the watch that John found in 1973. So somehow between that time in the past and present, she got back the watch. So there's probably some romantic involvement between the two of them. In what way, we don't know yet. I'm still thinking it's the old man is John, but that's just me, who died in episode 1. So who knows? Anyways, she tries to clean up after herself and basically confronts and finds the neighbor across the hallway, helping her out with some type of fuse box that was supposedly not working or anything like that, and invites her in. And after some questioning, just basic questions, she realized that this person is shady and probably an assassin sent to kill her. And Petra's obviously got to defend herself, and after a huge battle scene, or fight scene I should say, she basically kicked ass. It was definitely a Bourne type of style of fighting, which I really love and appreciate that they brought this back. Again, this is what Bourne world, I should say, the Bourne universe is all about, is the fighting aspects, the sequences, using their surroundings. She was using various type of weaponry, not in a sense of kitchenware, and pots, pans, even a bag to use to disarm the knife from the assassin's hand. Use the bag to basically, suffocate her and stuff like that. So definitely a really cool fighting scene on that in this episode, which I really, really like. So once Petra kills the assassin, she meets up with this Marcos guy who basically sent her to kill her, and confronts him to a point where he's answers her question or he's dead basically, and finds that she was basically not useful anymore by Yuri, which is the man that she slept with in episode 2, and he's selling the missile codes to the Stiletto 6 to other people, which this is where it turns into where Tara is trying to get information on, and this is what led her to write about the story and discredit her and stuff of that sort. So she's finally gets the daughter after a clever escape from the accident scene that she had ended in episode 2. She gets the daughter out of the crash. She's running away, which I find was actually weird because the assassins had not even one scratch on them. I mean, literally not one scratch. I didn't even see a cut in their faces or anything like that. But Tara and the daughter had so much blood, or they had glass, or they had something in their clothing, and not one thing. So I think that was a little piece that, the directors or whoever's in charge of that type of detail should have paid attention to, because I mean, that's an important thing. Like, who gets out of a car crash without a scratch, especially when they flip over? Come on. Anyways, so Tara gets the daughter to the embassy. The embassy ambassador speaks to Tara about why she was sent in the first place, because of her story and that her pursuit of the story. She finds out that the ambassador and the general somehow obtained information about the launch codes and bought her way into the, I guess, bidding war for that. And she's given the task to get these codes and basically, I guess, keep it, which is weird. So who knows that's how to be. I'm assuming she's going to be somehow talking to Matt, which is the CIA operative that introduced Tara to the general. And we find out that Matt, goes to the prison, finds out that the one cicada that shot all those people was actually hunting one person who was going to be revealing some information about the Stiletto 6 and various other information, which they didn't want to be left out. So that was the reason why he was activated, to kill this one person so that news information doesn't get traveled and their awareness or their presence doesn't get known. He's in that part of the storyline where he's trying to figure out what's going on and tries to ask the cicada some intense questioning, but because his mind is so broken, he doesn't even know what he's saying, doing, or anything, that he just basically shuts down, and you can't do anything with that. So we don't know where that storyline is, and I think it's one of the least significant storylines so far. Anyways, moving on. So the next episode or next scene I should say, is we get to see the Korean woman. Again, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I don't want to butcher it. But we see her, dropping off her son at her grandmother's, because the husband has tickets to go to a big party with all the higher ups and is invited to go. So she leaves her son with the parents so that they can go, and typical thing, but finds that there's a soldier that approaches her and basically is telling her, we know what you did. We know you killed the general, because they found the syringe that was left in episode 1 as she left in the drain of his bathroom with her fingerprints, and they know who she is. So instead of turning in and arresting her, they're using her because of those skills that she somehow was able to kill the general in a penthouse suite, thousands of feet above the floor, and with no one noticing where and how she did it. They figured she can get at least a SIM card from the phone of the colonel, who knows who she is also, and switch it with another SIM card. So she is sent to this party basically with the hopes that she's able to get the SIM card from the colonel, I'm sorry, and bring it to these people before 12 o'clock midnight, because if she doesn't get back with the SIM card, these soldiers are going to go kill her son and her family. So she tries her best to get it. She almost got it. She just basically dropped it on the floor, and right before she can pick it up, so it seems, because I didn't see her pick it up in the scenes, is she is asked to play the piano and starts playing the piano with the images of her son dying or getting killed by the soldier, because she was running out of time and she would never make it to stop this person from killing her family. So she runs out of there, and that's where we leave off the scene. And in the trailer for the next weeks, for episode 4, we see that she's fighting soldiers to get back into that area. So we're going to see a lot more of that, I believe. So we get to introduce a new cicada. It almost looks like this woman, who's a Hindu woman. She goes into a religious temple with the idea to kill a man, which we later find out is like a young billionaire from a pharmaceutical company, and was planning to do something with the company, which I couldn't understand. So I'm a little lost on that part, and I didn't get a chance to watch the episode again to understand it. But she watches him and finds the right moment to kill him by spraying something in his face that eventually, when he smells it, would be a toxin and basically kill him. So we don't know the story of that. We just know that she targeted this billionaire for a reason that she doesn't even know herself, and is given another order to be going to Korea. So with that in mind, I'm assuming that she's going to be fighting or killing the Korean woman or Korean cicada pretty soon. And in trailers that I've seen for the entire season, you could see that there is a fighting scene on top of a mountain. So maybe this is the person who's going to be fighting her. And lastly, the last part of the whole characters, which this part freaking blew my mind, which at first was a little dull, but then at the end, awesome, which was Doug going into the bar that we left off also in episode 2, I'm sorry, that he was supposed to kill this person. By going into this location, he's at home. He basically convinces his wife to the bar and have fun and relax and stuff like that. But while he's over there, he realizes that this person is not there. So she's basically asking questions about her, which is the target, and finding out what is this person all about and why is he have this picture and stuff of that sort. So he is trying to figure out this mission, but he doesn't understand it too much, and is trying not to let his wife know all about it. One other thing that I forgot to mention is that there was a person actually spying on him, wondering what the heck he's doing and stuff like that sort, which we'd find out in that next scene when they finally get home, is that he is sent to retrieve Doug to go back for reprogramming, because he hasn't done his task well enough, because when he left Antarctica, he basically had a mission there, killed the person and had some heroin, and he left it all there. So they realize that he's a little defective because he's been under the hypnosis for such a long time. There isn't a memory of what the order's all about, and they haven't used him. So that's what we found out in episode 2, is that it diminishes. But when he refuses to go back, the gentleman says, either you come back with me or we're going to clean you, which is essentially going to be killing him. And they get into a huge fighting scene again, same thing, Bourne style, where they have a huge fight scene, and I love it. And it's such a spectacular way of showing this show within a movie type of thing, or a movie within a show, I should say. And they fight it all out, and he gets to a point where he's about to, I guess, die. And when he was about to reach for a gun, we find that the wife comes and has the gun holding to this intruder. And as he's speaking, he's like, you could have had it the easy way. not bring this involved. Even her referring to Doug's wife, and a different name too, Samantha, she kills this guy from speaking any further and leaves the episode right there and then. So when we see the trailer, they're burying this person and they're discussing a little bit about their life, or what their life was like, how it was planned, stuff of that sort, which we'll find out in episode 4. But that alone just blew my mind, is that she is also an operative with this organization. Either she's a cicada herself, or she's just someone that's working in this organization to work with cicadas. And I mean, she had to be in character the entire time for this to happen. So I'm excited for episode 4 to come out so that I can see what this is all about. I really want to know who this wife is all about, and who she is, and what significance she brings to the show and to Doug and things of that sort. So we'll find out soon. Anyways, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Please hit that like and subscribe button below, and let me know what we can do to improve either the quality of the episodes that I give you guys, or if you have any other suggestions. Thanks again for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.